environmental justice or issues. However those three terms are not identified. So how do each one of those terms impact me as an individual? If you've ever read anything about Agenda 21, which this whole plan is, that's why you don't want to use the word sustainability or smart growth, because that is all Agenda 21. Social, economic, and environmental justice issues are their Bible. For that reason, we should scrap this plan and we should start going back to local levels.
Good evening, my name is Cheryl. My name is the Secretary of Project Director of the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions, ANJAC, and also serve as the project manager for the South Jersey Glacier Coalition. Our organizations appreciate the opportunity to comment on the draft state development and redevelopment plan, especially with regard to its impact on the southwestern portion of the state. The draft final state plan is not a plan. It lacks most of the critical components necessary to plan for continued growth in New Jersey. While it may fuel growth in new places, the majority of this growth will result in negative impacts that will diminish New Jersey's economic viability and cost New Jersey taxpayers millions. This draft plan's sole strategy for preserving New Jersey's remaining prime agricultural lands is through outright acquisition, but suggests no means to raise the money for such acquisition. It sets no plan to limit growth in agricultural or non-growth areas, a death sentence for our farms in the Garden State, especially in the South Jersey region. Agribusiness jobs are long-term, good-paying jobs that have fueled South Jersey's economy and Main Street businesses for generations. How many of our prime agricultural lands can be lost to unmanaged sprawl before the Garden State reaches the tipping point when agricultural jobs and businesses are no longer sustainable, yet another New Jersey industry lost forever. This draft plan clears the path for new development across much of New Jersey's remaining farm fields and forests, essential to food and water supply. But it does nothing to stimulate growth in the many existing town centers and urban areas that are sadly rotting away. These town centers have the necessary infrastructure in place and are primed for redevelopment. The main question we must ask is why this plan and why now? Do we need to stimulate building of new homes? New Jersey is currently overstocked with homes sitting on the market, many vacant. Many have been on the market for months and even years. With each passing month, their owners' watch values further depreciate, and more homes come on the market, decreasing their chance of saleability. This plan offers nothing to the owners of these homes. Is New Jersey suffering from a deficit of warehousing, manufacturing, and commercial space? Certainly not. Driving north to south, east to west across New Jersey, you see vacant warehouses, industrial and commercial spaces along major transportation routes. Industrial parks across the state look like ghost towns. Take a stroll down main streets and town centers across our state, and you will see vacant storefronts and shopping centers with their anchor stores gone and vacancy rates over 50%. Again, why this plan and why now? To stimulate construction of more homes, warehouses, industrial and commercial spaces, and new growth centers will certainly add to the glut of vacancies in existing developed areas and depreciate values even further. The plan offers no strategies to encourage redevelopment or infill in areas where good existing infrastructure. This is not a sound economic plan at any level. Who benefits from this plan? Certainly not existing home and property owners nor business owners. New Jersey taxpayers continually deal with the devastating impacts of being the most densely populated state. Even here in rural South Jersey, we have coped with massive flooding caused by unsustainable sprawl and inappropriate development of areas upstream. Area roads and bridges are still closed due to damage and washouts from the last hurricane. To allow development in inappropriate places will certainly add to more flooding, costing taxpayers more money. This draft plan does not take into consideration the fundamental element of good planning, water supply and quality. Development in inappropriate places paves over critical recharge areas and allows overdrawing on already compromised aquifers. At even greater risk is Salem County's prime that sustain some of New Jersey's most thriving farms and agribusinesses. The proposed wastewater treatment plan would have the DuPont plant in Salem County serve as a wastewater treatment facility. Existing sewer plants throughout Salem County would be converted to pumping stations connecting to DuPont for final treatment and disposal into the Delaware River. The wastewater proposal would run sewer lines from southern Gloucester County through Salem County, ultimately connecting to DuPont. Gloucester Township, where I serve as a township committee woman and planning board member, serves as an example of the consequences of poor planning. With Woolwich Township, the fastest growing municipality in New Jersey on its northern border, Gloucester's prime agricultural lands have been under aggressive residential development pressure for over 10 years. Woolwich had been a thriving agricultural area prior to the last residential development boom when its ag lands were converted to housing developments. Now rows of those homes sit vacant. To avoid the same fate, Gloucester voters approved a dedicated tax to preserve agriculture and necessary open spaces. Gloucester has spent tens of millions of dollars on its farmland and space preservation plans, water quality management plan, and master plan revisions that met state requirements in the former state plan. However, this draft plan, coupled with the proposed pump plan, would bring miles of sewer pipeline through Gloucester Township to connect adjacent Woodstown Borough's existing treatment plant to DuPont. Residential developers will be targeting agricultural areas within several municipalities along the sewer line path heading to DuPont. Decades of work and thousands of taxpayer dollars protecting agriculture, agribusiness will be flushed through the sewer lines as farmlands converted to large housing developments, more roads, more schools, more services, and more taxes. This draft plan is not effective at any level and certainly not economically. New Jersey needs a strong, cohesive state plan that provides a common vision, policy, and clear implementation strategy across the state and between levels of government. New Jersey needs a plan that discourages development that does not make sense. A plan that provides for redevelopment of our existing decaying town centers. New Jersey needs a plan that promotes reuse of abundant vacant warehouse and industrial spaces. New Jersey needs a plan that protects investments already made. New Jersey needs a plan that includes the fundamental tools to chart a sustainable course and not fuel more sprawl and degradation that will cost New Jersey taxpayers millions in unlimited taxes.
Thank you very much.
Nicolaisi.
Sorry about that.
I apologize for my voice. I'm getting over it. Cold. I only have a statement. I have a lot of. They're not questions. We're not doing questions and answers, but a lot of stuff I don't understand here. When you say you're going to, and I'm looking at page 28. You're going to promote development in priority growth investment areas, and you talk about locating people within convenient walking distance of home and jobs. In other words, you're going to promote a lifestyle through this plan of some sort. And I'm not sure how you're going to do that without having additional taxation, some kind of propulsion, and layers of bureaucracy. You're going to provide opportunities for investment, your housing infrastructure, etc. I don't understand how government that's broke, and you said we were broke twice. How is government going to do these things exactly without, again, compulsion, bureaucracy, forcing people to do stuff that perhaps they don't want to do? This whole thing is rife with that. And again, the way you said the language is quite flowery. It's kind of designed to hide things, I think. You're going to ensure healthy places and the quality of preserved land. Now, preserved land. Every time all these programs that we have to preserve land make other land cost more. Now, everything in here actually is going to increase our taxes, reduce our freedom, as I see it. And I just don't understand how this administration, supposedly a conservative one, can be going for a plan like this.
Thank you. Tom Tedesco.
I'll pass.
Thomas Hickson. Thank you. No, seriously, if you feel compelled later to say anything, I'll call you back. George Dallington.
Hi, I live over in Woodbury, New Jersey, and I used to work in county government back in '71, and I noticed they had just gone from the big board to the small board of the board of chosen freeholders, which diluted it, which gave us autocratic rule, etc.
George, excuse me, this is going to be about the state plan, right?
Yes, it is. I'm leading into it. This is a preamble. What I'm specifically addressing is this. You've lost your freeholders, property owners, participating in government. You've lost the municipality's freeholder, local resident, who owns a good chunk of land, such as a farm, a golf course, or whatever, from participating in government. You have to go to Woodbury. You've got 7 freeholders, a couple of which they grew up out of county. So in order to improve the plan, I suggest that you get a hierarchy of at least 1 freeholder from every municipality. In other words, they own the land outright, and they're on a commission. So when they see the water, sewer, and electric coming by, they get to vote. And they represent the interest of the landowner, and it'll keep the system that we've created in 1780, whatever, 81, 83, whatever, to function. You don't have private property owners participating. In this plan, what I see is the state communicates with the county communicates with the municipality communicates with the state. Where is the landowner? You know, I own 63 acres in Paulsboro, outright, but I can't even vote in the town. Now that's bizarre. Somebody on a bench, sleeping 2 nights before, can vote for the mayor in Paulsboro, but somebody that owns 9% of the land can't vote at all. Can't talk about development. Because you haven't made a campaign contribution to some elected official, he's not going to let you talk, or she's not going to let you talk. So that's what I'm suggesting on a plan. You get 565 municipalities, whatever the number is, and you build this organization. So wherever you build a regional organization, you know, I understand that the UN is going to meet in June. And you're going to approve the plan by April or May. So we're going to have Agenda 21 with whatever emissary dealing with this. We also just got a contract with Chris Christie and the People's Republic of China to do economic development. And I'm faced with a free trade zone right here in Paulsboro. It's been planned since like '92, and the last time the UN met on Agenda 21. There's a distinct pattern. Besides that, an executive order was just issued by POTUS, President of the United States, I think 6 or 9 February, which talks about worldwide economic development. This isn't a conspiracy, it's a reality. They're organizing to take people's private property, which when they take it, all they do is they take the future interests. They're turning this into a mobile home park where you cannot move out. So, you know, we have 80 homes for sale in Woodbury. You know, George Norcross is dispersing Camden into all the municipalities around it. He's solving the problem in Camden by just moving it out. They already own, the town owns 50% of the real estate in Camden. So is this to the benefit of the surrounding municipalities to bring in people who can't make a living? And, oh, there's another bill. The Democrats are now sponsoring a bill, I think 2 days ago, in the Assembly that discusses we're going to take all of the foreclosed homes,
So you take it away.
and we're going to put in, sorry, Senator or Secretary of Agriculture, you're a Democrat, you're a running mate of Sweeney, and you're also a running mate of Berticelli. Back off, because this is a public meeting, and we get to talk. Thank you very much. We're done with this. We're done with the obedience. This is over with, buddy. Sorry.
I'll try to address specific concerns. And also, we'll be bringing many of our concerns back to you in writing. Looking at the concept of your regional innovation clusters, just concerned in Salem County that we have a balanced approach to those priority areas. In 2004, the county, through funding from your predecessor office, prepared a smart growth plan, the Route 295 Turnpike Corridor. And that plan, we offer that, it should be in your office, but we offer that as information to be used as you're planning and preparing, the subsequent documents that will come from this plan. And we understand that you set up as goals and objectives. This is set up as a framework to move forward. And this is not the final form that we will see. Under the area of the food production, which is one of the areas that you stress in the plan, in discussions I've had, it's interesting, but it's essential that you recognize the current structure of the Right to Farm Act and the Right to Farm protections that are built in that aren't always recognized at the local level, and stress those in the plan and in your implementation documents, so that these agricultural operations, both preserved and non-preserved commercial farms, are afforded the protections that exist in the current regulations and current rules. And that will go a long way towards being able to preserve and maintain the rural and agrarian characters that we have in addition to the industrial question. And just finally, in your priority growth areas, just looking at what we have in Salem County, you are looking at possibly doing away with designated centers. However, because of the rural nature of the county and because of the development pattern that exists with the smaller communities, with the city of Salem, Borough of Woodstown, Borough of Elmer, those areas and even the smaller towns, Alloway and Quinton, need some designation and need some recognition as to their viability and their potential to utilize the infrastructure and the structure that are in place. Talking about the port as an area for development, redevelopment, the port itself is not mentioned in the plan. You mentioned the port of Paulsboro, but remember that there is another port and it does have a freight railroad that runs to it. Again, back in the Smart Growth Plan, there's been a designated regional growth area within Salem County through that planning process, and a designated rural agricultural preservation area. And finally, in terms of brownfields, there is a successful and active brownfield development area in the city of Salem. There's over 24 properties that are involved there. So again, an area to focus on to allow Salem County to provide for its unique nature and industry clusters that recognize a regional basis. We'll submit additional comments.
Thank you.